Make no mistake, getting to the wedding day and our happily ever after would be the biggest adventure we would ever face.
Oh, that's good.
Believe me, it's better if you see it for yourself.
They're beautiful. What are they?
Don't know. They just kind of sprouted up here about a year ago. Want to know the weirdest part? This is where they found the miracle flower that
Tangled was one of those animated adventures that didn't just tell a fairy tale. It created an entire world of magic, laughter, music, and heartwarming emotion that became a generational favorite. More than a decade after its release, fans still remember the lantern sequence, the witty banter between Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, and the way the film balanced humor with heartfelt themes of freedom and destiny. Over the years, audiences have constantly asked for a continuation of this story, a true sequel that would let them revisit Rapunzel, Eugene, Pascal, and Maximus. So we imagined what Tangled 2 could look like if Disney never decided to make it, giving fans a chance to dream about the world beyond the tower once more. This isn't just a return to a beloved classic, but an exploration of what happens after, happily ever after, showing that every ending can open a door to new adventures. The imagined sequel would bring back the same lovable cast of characters, with Mandy Moore reprising her role as Rapunzel. Her unique voice, brimming with warmth and wonder, remains essential to capturing Rapunzel's spirit. Zachary Levi would return as Flynn Rider, or rather Eugene Fitzherbert, delivering his signature charm, quick wit, and heart that perfectly balance Rapunzel's earnest nature. Donna Murphy, who originally voiced Mother Gothel, would not return in the same capacity since her character met her fate in the first film, but a new antagonist could rise to fill the void, voiced by a fresh talent who can deliver both menace and charisma. Supporting roles would of course include Pascal, the ever-loyal chameleon, and Maximus, the determined palace horse who provides much of the physical comedy. Together, this ensemble would ensure the magic of the original continues, while new characters could be introduced to expand the kingdom and its mythologies. The story of Tangled 2 begins after Rapunzel has embraced her life as a princess, finally free to explore the world beyond the walls that once confined her. But with new freedom comes new responsibilities. She finds herself adjusting to royal duties, traditions, and expectations that don't always align with her adventurous spirit. Flynn, still a roguish soul at heart despite his attempts at noble reform, often finds himself caught between his love for Rapunzel and his discomfort with palace life. Their relationship, though deeply affectionate, is tested by the challenges of balancing personal desires with duty. The kingdom itself is facing uncertain times, with rumors of unrest in distant lands and whispers of an ancient power connected to Rapunzel's golden hair that was thought lost forever. Though Rapunzel's hair was cut short at the end of the first film, fragments of that magical energy remain within her, awakening a new threat from those who wish to control it. The villain of Tangled 2 is envisioned as a sorceress named Morgath, an enigmatic figure who has spent her life studying the sundrop flower that gave Rapunzel her powers. Morgath believes that the magic was not destroyed when Rapunzel's hair was cut, but instead transferred into her very soul. She seeks to harness that energy to restore a dark order that once ruled neighboring kingdoms. Unlike Mother Gothel, whose obsession was rooted in vanity and fear of aging, Morgath represents a more cosmic danger, someone willing to reshape the balance of magic and humanity to suit her ambitions. Her arrival throws the kingdom into chaos, forcing Rapunzel and Eugene to confront not only external danger, but also internal doubts about who they are and what they're meant to become. As the plot unfolds, Rapunzel and Eugene set out on a perilous journey across uncharted territories, retracing the history of the sundrop flower and the moonstone. Their path leads them through enchanted forests, forgotten temples, and villages with stories of magical guardians. Along the way, they encounter allies, including a spirited young archer who idolizes Rapunzel for her bravery, and a mysterious old historian who knows far more about the sundrop's true origin than he first reveals. Pascal and Maximus bring humor and loyalty to the group, often lightening tense situations with their antics. Yet the deeper the heroes travel, the more they discover that the real danger isn't just Morgath's pursuit of power, but the temptation for Rapunzel herself to rely too heavily on her magic, risking the very humanity that makes her who she is. One of the emotional anchors of Tangled, too, is the evolving relationship between Rapunzel and Eugene. Where the first film explored trust, independence, and love's first bloom, the sequel explores partnership, sacrifice, and the complexity of building a life together. There are moments of conflict as Rapunzel struggles with the weight of her royal role, while Eugene still occasionally slips into his old carefree habits. But ultimately, their love becomes their strength, teaching them both that true freedom is found not in escape, but in building something meaningful together. Their growth is mirrored by the kingdom itself, which must learn to face outside threats not through isolation, but through unity and courage. Visually, Tangled 2 would build upon the stunning animation style of the original while incorporating advancements in technology to create even more breathtaking environments. Imagine lanterns floating not just over the water, but across vast skies filled with auroras, or magical landscapes shimmering with the energy of the sundrop. New songs would once again blend humor, romance, and inspiration, capturing the Broadway-style heart that defined the first film. The soundtrack would give Rapunzel soaring ballads about freedom and responsibility, Eugene witty duets filled with banter, and Morgoth darkly enchanting numbers that reveal her twisted desires. Music would again serve as the heartbeat of the story, reminding audiences why Disney fairy tales are timeless. The release date we imagined for Tangled 2 is set in late November, perfectly aligning with the holiday season, when families gather and animated films often shine brightest. This would place it as a centerpiece event, giving fans something to look forward to as the year draws to a close. The timing also echoes the original's release, creating a sense of tradition and continuity. Marketing would highlight not only the return of Rapunzel and Eugene, but also the new epic scope of the story, making it clear this isn't just another fairy tale, but an adventure with higher stakes, richer worlds, and deeper emotions. Now, if Tangled 2 were to have a trailer, it would open with sweeping shots of the kingdom, golden sunlight reflecting off castle towers, children laughing as lanterns float into the morning sky. A narrator's voice would fade in, not to explain but to set the tone. Every ending is just the beginning of another story. The scene would then cut to Rapunzel, now more confident yet still wide-eyed with wonder, standing on a balcony overlooking her home. Her short brown hair sways in the wind as Eugene teases her about missing the freedom of her tower days. Suddenly, the music would shift to darker tones as Morgoth is revealed, cloaked in shadows, whispering about the power still alive within Rapunzel. Quick flashes would show magical storms brewing, armies marching under strange banners, and Rapunzel grasping Eugene's hand as they leap from danger. Pascal squeaks bravely, Maximus gallops with determination, and lanterns scatter across storm-filled skis. The trailer would crescendo with Rapunzel singing a new, powerful refrain as her hands glow faintly with golden energy, standing against Morgoth's towering figure. The final shot would show Eugene turning toward the camera with his classic smirk, saying, "Did you miss us?" Before the title, Tangled 2, bursts onto the screen in shimmering gold. Then, the release date would appear, promising fans that the magic of the lanterns is about to return. This imagined sequel doesn't just recreate the charm of the first movie. It expands it into something grander while keeping the intimacy of Rapunzel's journey. It acknowledges that fairy tales don't end with weddings or reunions, but continue with challenges, growth, and new dreams. Tangled 2 would be a celebration of love, freedom, and courage, reminding audiences young and old that every story has another chapter waiting to be told.